Okay, hello beans, welcome to Blue Bean Harvest number 10 with me, Roy, on Roy's Radio. This is coming to you live from the Southern Hemisphere in Australia, and we are doing this to awaken humanity. I've just recorded a load of stuff and, well, I didn't record it for some reason. So this is a take 2. I'm going to tell you the things that I'm going to talk about. I've got a list. Just going to reiterate the idea of what this is all about. Who am I? Who am I? Okay, well, I didn't say that last time. Who am I? Well, I am an expression of Big G's love, as all of you are. We are children of the one infinite expression of love, in the sense that we are, in the same way that we have a fleeting thought and another fleeting thought, this is the instantaneous, multitudinal, infinite growth of souls based on the awareness of the original awareness. Okay? The idea of being able to express yourself, you need somewhere to, a playground to be able to express yourself. Okay, this is God's playground. And I'm God and you're God. Yeah? So, how do we be God? What are you doing right at this moment? What is a moment? A moment is thought to thought. A moment is sleep to sleep. A moment can be anything. But as you look at the many moments of individual experience that fill up the big one moment of your daily cycle, this is a repeated opportunity to experience again those that you didn't do in the previous cycle. Okay? There is no need ever to refer to calendars and time and all this sort of rubbish. Yeah. Anyway. So, how do you be God? Why do you be God? What is a moment? Who am I? Who are you? Who are we? What are we doing here? What is our purpose? Our purpose is to become aware of self as the infinite being we are, not the egoic mind that we invariably reference on a cycle by cycle basis, because we think of I as in a separate self from the big G. And yet when I did 1 + 1 = 1, the logic might escape many people. But if I go like this, and say that if we just pause to consider for a moment that if we think of the big G as a contained being, as in we can reference a contained notion for this exercise, and outside there is nothing, but inside is infinite everything. No limitation. It is limitless in every sense of the word. Now, if in the beginning that's all there is and nothing else, that means that in the most literal sense that you could possibly contemplate, there is just the big G, just that single awareness, and from that every other thing concept, every image that you could possibly experience, everything is derived here and nowhere else. Ergo, if we say, let's take 2 big G's, they could only come from there because there is nothing else to pull it from. So, if we accept this, then the whole notion of Jesus Christ, which is rubbish, goes out the window, because Jesus Christ suggests that, according to the religious rubbish like Catholic and Protestant and the other stuff, any religion that thinks of one as a God figurehead is rubbish. There is only one God. There has only ever been one God, and I am that, and you are that, and we are that. And the purpose is to wake up here and become aware of self as what we are, embracing the truth fully. What does that mean then? Well, that means we let go of this idea of self. How do we let go of self? Well, let's take someone that is a prisoner in their own mind. Let's look at just a crack. Let's think of the head of the Saudi Arabian family, King. I don't think that disrespectfully. It's just I don't know. In the same way that he doesn't know I am. How is that statement right? Well, only in the sense that, well, when it slipped out, when that sentence slipped out, my initial impetus for the expression was actually based on an egoic reference that I just caught coming out, and thought to myself, well, actually, and then thought the big G and the idea of the me, big G, love expressed in form, okay, as we all are. So if we think of the top of this king, yeah, and if I met the guy, I would go, yeah, how are you? Happy? Yeah, really good for you, pleased. Not to perpetuate, but I don't want to antagonise anyone, by saying you're not what you are, in the sense of an individual projection. This is me just telling my truth, sharing my truth, which is the only truth. There is only one truth. Anyway, this king dude, most powerful person in the world, potentially, because of his almost limitless financial resources, he's trillionaire, or whatever he is. And yet, ultimately, because of this, the same as Buffett and Gates and Musk and everyone else, these people are trapped. Because they couldn't give up everything that they've got in an instant, because they know who they are. If you know who you are, then you don't need anything, do you? Think about it. The most powerful person in the world needs no thing, nothing to do, nothing to say, can just sit and know that I am the most powerful person in the world. Wow. And then I look at someone else, what do I think about them? I must think of them the same way, or I'm not recognising my own truth from their perspective. So this is why I say that we're all big G, we're all God, but it's not a question of lording it up, if you understand that phrase. Being, I'm God, I'm God. It's like, well, we're all God. So we can all just chill and relax, and everything is peachy, happy, wonderful. We are full of grace. Express and receive. Express and receive. Yes. With each breath, we're expressing love and we're receiving love. With each breath. Close your eyes and listen to my voice. Listen to the sound of my voice and allow it to take you home. Home is where your heart is. There is only one home. There has only ever been one home, and there only ever will be one home. Always. So, what are you doing? You could be being happy, sad, any emotion. Emotion. Why do we have emotions? To feel, to experience, to, what's the purpose of all this? The purpose is to go back and clear away all the rubbish until you have nothing left but the truth. I don't hate, I don't do this, I don't do that. Yes, so that's what it's all about. Find the courage and the strength within to become who you are, to become. Begin, I am, I'm in, be in, be in, be in, be in. Being happy, I'm going to be in happiness. Yeah. Okay. So the daily cycle, love and forgiveness, fear and judgment, innocence, bubble world. So, although I'm walking about here, and although you're walking about there, sitting there doing whatever you're doing, try and think of, sorry, was that a moth? Sorry. No. Bubble. Hello, thanks. There we go. So, this then, we'll leave that for another time. Forgot what I was saying. First with coffee. So, let's just go back to purpose. This is what it is. Cut to the chase. Cut to the chase. In every moment, breath to breath, breathe in love, breathe out love. When you come across a moment and you find yourself feeling hurt, upset, angry, frustrated, the best thing that you can do with yourself instantly is to become aware of your feeling. I feel like this right now. And without projection to another person, or another group or whatever, just accept it. Okay. Oh, that's not very nice, is it? Or that's great. Whatever it is. Yeah, just accept it. Allow it. Next. Okay. As you go through the day and do this, you'll release lots and lots and lots and lots of things, because things will come to you. And there'll be manufactured in different ways, so that you might not be fully aware. Oh, I had something like this happen to me last week. Yeah, you might not be aware of that at all, but then you might. And if you are, understand it's catalyst repeating to help you on a soul level move forward and grow. That's all it is. Okay? So, bubble world. So let's think of the big G, all right, as a golf ball. Bubble, big bubble. Yeah. And then if we say that, because there's this a reference to the idea of a wave. A wave is arising from the ocean, and as it comes to that maximum energy in motion, crashing, then you get all these little bits coming off, all these little droplets of water, these individual expressions of ocean in droplet form. So if we close our eyes and are within, then we could conceive that everyone and everything is within. There is no time, there is no distance. Everything just is. We could perceive looking through another's eyes, because it's just ourself in another individuated form. Love in form, an expression of love in form. And we can bounce around the world, seeing the world through someone else's eyes, because they all emanate from one, within to without. Yeah? Anyway. So, it's through the experiences and through the forgiveness. Oh, that's okay, that's not very nice, it hurt, whatever. Okay, but it is what it is. That's what it's like to feel hurt. I can move on, I forgive you this. I understand why they did that. In a way, it's helpful. Yeah, bash, bash, bash. Oh yeah, that's really helpful. Well, bash, bash, bash is not the biggest expression of self-love either. So, for my own part, I find that I just focus on being aware, being as true as I can to me, and allowing in others. That's all I can do. This is my personal journey, yeah, in this instance, to get to a point, a conclusion, Christ consciousness, and in that moment I can then walk off this earth, on this earth, but not be of this earth. And the reason for that is because we've moved away from the identity of self within the physical form that we've created with our love. Okay. Anyway, so that's the point. Think on that this Christmas, perhaps. Yeah, maybe do. Think on this Christmas. And we'll see what happens. Yeah. Close your eyes and pray to the big G. Talk to the big G. But then listen. The more you listen, the more you hear. You won't listen if you're not seeking to listen. Do you understand? Actively pursue that idea of this is what I'm doing. What are you doing? I'm becoming aware of myself as the big G. Because as soon as you become aware of yourself as the big G, you can understand that everyone else is the big G. And even if they're shitty and angry and miserable or whatever, they're still the big G playing out that role. Yeah? So, Putin, yeah, ping, trump. And what's his name? Netanyahu. You need to consider yourselves in a spiritual sense to help move the world forward. And if you don't, then you're just remaining trapped within your egoic reference, which is not really an enlightened place to be. And if you're in those positions, then you should be considering all things that may bring peace, harmony, comfort, love to everyone else, shouldn't you? Because everyone that's like this, in this frame of mind, everyone that is working towards becoming aware of truth and embracing that truth and then walking in that truth, in this awareness, will become easier to handle from your perspective, because you're such a lot of control freaks. That's just part of your fear. That's part of your entrapment. Yeah, I can't give this up. Yeah, I'm worried about this. Why do I sleep with a gun so close? Yeah. Terrible still, but that's your choice. And this is your opportunity, especially Pope Dude, Pope Dude, Pope Dude. It's time to break free. It's time to bring freedom into the Vatican City. True freedom, based on truth. What is a sovereign entity being here? What does that mean to you? Yeah. Why do you look for control? Is it because someone comes and brings you clothing and slippers and toast or whatever? Check my book, Charlie's Poem. Yeah. The next day you got up after hearing this, you made your own toast and you made tea for others and you brought them their clothes. Wouldn't that be nice? That's removing yourself from your exalted position, which is an egoic referenced perception, and saying, I am the big G. I don't need this. But I'm going to tell everyone what I'm doing. I'm going to tell everyone that I've found God within myself, because I am the God. The one and only, the true God, the big G, expressed as an individuated expression of love, based on the path I'm following, to get more experience, to find more forgiveness, to grow. Don't you just love it? Yes. Yeah. Because it's all purple power. I didn't know what that is, but it just sounds lovely, because we like the colour purple. Everything that you say as people reference is like a pebble in the pond. So be careful of what you think, because they're words expressed internally, in exactly the same way as words expressed externally. And what you think creates the words, the images, the sounds. The experience replicates. Anyway, let's see how long we've been going. I think that's probably enough. 24. There we go. 2, 4, 14. Love to just love. Just love. Why not? Why not just love? And if you poo-poo this and say this is rubbish, and that's fine. It doesn't affect me. It just anchors you to where you are. So think of this. This is growth, right? This is growth. Okay. People talk about a path. from the moment of your inception. And then through the expression of thought, creation of image, we create the experience here. And the vast majority of people, there's 8 billion people on this planet, expressed in this awareness. And I always think about 72 million people are awakening. It's not a lot, is it? So the majority of people are just growing in negativity here, and they're just not moving forward at all. It's a bit of a bugger, really. So what we've got to do is to take all this away until we get back to the middle. Where's the little bit? There is the little bit. There. So, and we get back and we find out, oh, right, okay. We're back to the very beginning. Look at that. I'm Big G. That's how you can, if you were King Fire, you could, I think that's his name, you could just walk away. No, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just going to walk about. Yeah. But that reminds me, the current situation with those that identify as Jewish people, all right? Anti-Semitic behaviour, look at the war, all right, and all this sort of stuff. The vast majority of people that currently identify as Jewish people weren't even in the war, all right? You didn't experience the hatred. You've adopted that feeling and taken it on your own, the notion of persecution. It's the same as black people, Aboriginal people here in Australia, people that are sick. If you're sick, you've pulled it to yourself. That's just a fact. All right? I've very recently come into contact with someone being, human being, as opposed to God being human, divine expression. Yeah? And there was so much wrong with this individual. I mean, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things, you know, and they're all quite serious. And this person was into the notion of studying otherworldly things and processes, and yet was so amazingly sick. It just struck me of how we draw this stuff to us and how blind we can be, excuse me. So, just be aware of every day, as hard as it is, in every moment, to find your peace as the only one. Expecting an awakening of yourself with an awareness of all potential It's just a desire away. Yes. So we'll leave it there. I've gone for about half an hour. Yeah. Every moment, just try and think, as hard as it is, and you if you want more time on your own, yeah, you can think. Excuse me. You can think of things as you're doing it, in the sense of, remember, thought. Like your outcome is reliant upon your thought. So whatever outcome you want, change the perception of myself. So I'll just throw this on at the end, all right? So just consider this, please. I used to use an example in the behavioural sense as follows. You're very tired, desperate to go to bed and rest, and a friend, a very, very close and dear friend, arrives on your doorstep late, and you're so happy to see them. Then you are energized. All right? And just pause a minute and understand what's happened there. So you believing yourself as tired. Oh, so tired. Look, I'm tired. And then someone comes in, you haven't seen him for a long while. Oh, how wonderful to see you. Oh, come in there. Let's put the kettle on. Are you staying? Great for the weekend. Yeah, brilliant, whatever. And you've got so much energy and you sit and talk for hours and you don't go to bed till 2 or 3. It's like, yeah, don't worry about it, I'm great. Because you're enjoying yourself, you're happy. Understand that even in this little simple exchange, you have changed yourself. I am being. Okay. So, be divine. Okay? Be God in your outlook. And when you look out, understand that what you're looking at is God. Crazy, huh? But true. I love you, Beans. I love me. I love everything. I love this. Because it's great. Everything's great. Baskets, arseholes, they're great as well. Because without people that are, sadly, down there, then there's no offset measure in your mind, is there? Wow, look at that. Balance. Yeah, balance that off. I'm so pleased I'm here and not there. Yeah, but you feel for them. Because it's God. All right, anyway, I'm going. Stay safe, Beans, and work towards your own freedom.